So do you feel like this economic climate, even though it's going to be tough for a lot of people, do you think that's probably like there's a chance that there's a comeback to quality and brand and like respect for the story? Because now you can't just throw
Yeah.
money at a problem.
Yeah, I mean, the free money is gone, no question. I think what we've seen, like how renaissances work in these times where everybody's feeling the same thing, but it's not represented by the stock market, by job growth, by the things that a news would represent the health of a society. The overwhelming feel right now is that it's a little shaky, that everything's very fragile. You can't just put a new product into the market, throw money behind it, and have it be a success. The ability to build from scratch and build organically requires things to look and feel very different to meet a need with the consumer. But I think C, it's got to make you feel really good too. And some of the nostalgia that comes with the brands that make people feel good about a purchase, they don't exist in those kind of like CPG brands I was talking about, where it's a really minimalist design and soft color palette and, very few words on a bottle. And I look at it and say like, all right, this looks kind of pretty. I'm going to enjoy this beverage right now, but I'll probably not buy it again. That to me is on the way out. And products that are tangible in nature and have a obvious value proposition, but make you feel good to own it and give you pride of ownership are the ones that are going to make the most sense. And that to me requires better design than we've seen to this point when the money was free and anybody could sell a t-shirt with some Helvetica font on it that said something stupid. That time is gone, I feel like.
Yeah. That makes me feel optimistic. And I don't want to like minimize what everyone's going through, but usually like well, I mean, Apple was during a recession, created during a recession. LinkedIn was during a recession. Like, so there's something to say that ingenuity and intentionality win when uh, nobody can just throw resources at a problem. And so you don't start a company
Mm.
to make money. The best companies don't operate that way. They start a company to find people like them so that they could tell a brand story. This. And then instead
Yeah.
of customers, you have patrons.
That's the biggest difference to me too, is that engagement on social media versus followers are not the same as customers and customers aren't the same as community. And those words all get thrown around and meshed together in a way that doesn't really make sense. That to me is a generational part too. But these kids today are great designers and they pump out work in a way I've not been able to do in 15 or 20 years. They're able to knock through stuff all day. The kids that have hustle are much further ahead than people who just had one hit and went away. But they look at something like 80,000 likes on TikTok or success in a reel on Instagram. Maybe it's related to their brand or their product as success. And that's not a signal to me. That's noise more than anything else. The success and the real signal comes from whether or not people buy your product, but they're still using it 3 or 4 months from now. And I think that's kind of like I look at brands like Mischief and a few others in the space right now who are just absolute killers when it comes to creating brand conversation and making great design, but it's still a little bit disposable. The Mischief Red Boots is to me the greatest example of like a peak and a trough happening all at the same time. If you wore those 6 months ago, 7 months ago in Soho, where I'm at right now, when you're walking down the street with it, people would be taking pictures of you, and
Yeah.
you'd have to, like, stop 20 times to have a conversation. If you wore those now, people would be disgusted by you. It happens so fast, and it's one of those things where it was pretty clear when it was happening, but the design to me wasn't good enough to withstand any test of time. It was an episode of Commerce where it was make as many as possible, as quickly as possible, and get the bag, and now they gotta go to the next one. That to me is what kids look at, and when I say kids, I'm talking about anybody under 25, as massive success right now, and that success in a moment, the follow-up to that is ridiculously hard if you do not have a plan to tell a better story and to follow up with a product.
And deliver on the brand promise of the story, right?
Yeah,
And
and a true mission, like, it's not there's no
yes.
mission around, like, Red Boot, you know?
Yeah, I mean, all I remember from Red Boot is that was a TikTok trend. And so I'm gonna zero in on, I mean, what, 7, 8 years you've been working on Rally?
Yeah, it's never ends, dude.
Yeah,
Anything starts as an idea, and then it just keeps going.
that's pretty impressive to be going that long on a marketplace business. Digital marketplaces are very difficult to ramp up. I've been a part of a couple attempts to do digital marketplaces, and the failure rate's so high.